Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Design 305, Week 3. Last week's stuff looks really good. You guys are doing great on your layouts. Just make sure, please go back and reread the feedback. Make the changes. All right, so programs required for this class and the Week 3 class materials, what we're covering. Ooh, mistype, typo. All right, software for this class, Adobe CC 2018. If you do not have it, check the message in the announcement section. Also, please let me know. All right, that's it for those announcements. Now we're going to move on to going over Week 3 stuff. All right, the learning objectives for this week. Identify at least 3 different design styles and layout concepts that are used in web portfolios. Determine the visual concept of a portfolio website. Choose and add social media icons to the portfolio website that fit with the website style. Determine the visual concept of the portfolio website. Choose and add social media icons to the portfolio website that fit with the website style. Create an interactive menu that includes normal, rollover, mouse down, and active states. We've been covering a lot of that throughout, so yeah. All right, so the discussion this week. To help you design the interface for your web page portfolio, we will discuss in this week's discussion topic the different types of web design genres and layout concepts that are commonly used in website portfolios. As you research the strengths and weaknesses of different web design genres and layouts, you will also decide which one to use for your portfolio and explain why. So you're going to research 2 different types of web design portfolio genres. I just lost where I was. Sorry about that. Research 2 different types of website design portfolio genres and layout concepts. It's important you research genres and layout concepts only for web design portfolios and not website designs in general. Discuss the strengths and weaknesses for each web genre and layout concept. Share with the class the web genre and layout concept you will design for your portfolio. For your citation, you might use articles that show examples of web genres and layouts. You can also find articles from experts that suggest how to implement the web genre and layout in a portfolio. In your response posts, add 1 additional strength and weakness to one of the web design genres or layout concepts your fellow classmates selected. So in other words, you're adding on to theirs. Explain why you're using the same web design genre or layout concept. If you're using a different web design genre, layout concept, explain why. Your initial and reply posts should work to develop a group understanding of this topic, challenge each other, build on each other, and always be respectful, but discuss this and figure it out together. All right, now, something I want to go over here tonight is the rubric. Some of the things that I've been seeing on the rubric is, for example, you'll notice to get full remarks for the criteria, you have to post all 3 marks. For this first one, you get 5 points, all 3 days. Responses, posted 2 responses to your classmates. Each were at least 50 words and relate to course concepts and the student's post. So if you only do your initial post, you've automatically lost 10 points. Primary post responded to discussion prompt, demonstrates understanding of course concepts, supported response with appropriate examples and information. 40 points. Now, that if you do the full thing, that's it. Now, post follows APA format, including citations if needed. Use correct grammar and spelling. Use complete sentences and proper paragraph structure. You'll notice some of you have gotten a 3 there instead. Hi, Jesse. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. I'm just going over the rubric for the discussion to explain why some people have lost some points. So I'll start over here. All right, overall criteria posted on 2 separate days during the assigned week, posted initial post by Wednesday. Post is required length. All right, so your initial post should be how long?
Is it 250 now?
It's 250.
Yeah.
Yes. And your responses?
Let's see, that was up to 75, wasn't it?
No, it's at least 50.
Yeah, it's at least 50.
Yeah. Now, if you're posting, I haven't been taking this off. Some instructors are doing it though. If you post a response by Wednesday and your initial post Thursday, they're taking off because the initial post wasn't put there by Wednesday. So make sure to watch that. Responses posted 2 responses to your classmates. Each were at least 50 words and related to course concepts in the student's post. If you only do the initial post, this is going to be a 0. That's 10 points off. So it takes it down to 50 right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Primary post, so we're back to the initial post. Responded to discussion prompt, demonstrates understanding of course concepts, supported response with appropriate examples and information. So you responded fully and everything to the initial discussion, and you actually posted enough that it addressed the discussion question as well as it explained your information, why you felt the way you did. Now here's where I've taken some points off, and it's been 3 points. Remember, you're required 2 APA formatted references. Well, excuse me, 2 references. They are no longer required APA. So post follows APA format, including citations if needed. So post was fine overall, but may have been missing elements of the appropriate format. Example, APA citations may have been missing or incorrect. Since you don't have to do APA format, that's not a thing. But if you do one out of the 2, and remember, those two references are not the same. They're separate because they back up why, for example, when you did the 2 good, 1 bad, those 2 references back up and support your opinion as to why those 2 were good or bad. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that would take it down to 48 points automatically if you did not do 1 or 2 of the references, and if you didn't do any replies. That's 48 points automatically. So please, if you did that, if that's what your score was, take the opportunity to resubmit it. All right. The assignment. Now we're going to design an interface. Determine the visual concept of the portfolio website. So now we're moving on to our own portfolio. Those of you that did a portfolio now have the option. We're going to take that portfolio, the one you did, and now you're going to, you've already got your colors down, your logo, the things you want. Now you're going to reformat it and with a different layout. So over the next 2 weeks, you will be redesigning your portfolio's user interface. You'll implement several advanced Muse interactivity and animation tools such as sliders, lightbox, custom form design, third-party plugins, and panels. In addition, you'll make your website responsive and upload it to the web host or server. Again, the uploading is not required because the school is still working on getting everybody server space, as well as you're not able to upload this to directly to Behance. So prompt 1 does not have a Muse portfolio website, okay? For this free assignment, you'll be designing the interface for your portfolio. So basically everything you did in week 1 and 2, now you're redoing it on a second site. Some of you are going to use your portfolio, and some are going to use the initial portfolio here, but you're not doing the Stevens Henniger site anymore. There'll be a minimum of 4 pages in your website portfolio: home, about, portfolio, and contact. We'll be using Photoshop or Illustrator to create our website portfolio mockup. Prompt 2 has a Muse portfolio website. For this assignment, you'll be redesigning the interface for your portfolio that you created in Design 241. You had Design 241?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the first Muse class, I believe.
Okay. Now you're taking that to the next level. There'll be a minimum of 4 pages in your website portfolio: home, about, portfolio, contact. We will be using Photoshop or Illustrator to do the mockup. All right, revision. Using Word, explain the changes you would like to create in your website portfolio you created in Design 241. If you have not taken this course, you'll discuss the 4 changes, additions you will add to your current portfolio website. Some of you don't have one. So now we're going to discuss, those of you that did the portfolio from week one and week 2, or you did the Independence University pages, now you're going to convert them over to your own portfolio site. And now you're going to explain the changes you're making in additions. Explain why you will or won't change the following. There needs to be at least 4 changes to your user interface: change the design style, changes to the layout concept, color changes, portfolio graphic changes, additional Muse features you would like to add, at least 2 that you've learned about in weeks 1 and 2. A plugin you'll select and use. Each explanation should be at least 50 words, so a total of 200 words. Name your word. Design 305 assignment, okay? Now, part 2, the website mockup. Using Photoshop or Illustrator, you'll redesign your layout concept. In Photoshop or Illustrator, recreate the UI of your portfolio pages: homepage, about, portfolio, and contact. Consider choosing a different color scheme. Adobe Cooler is really good. Now, if you've got a logo that you've already designed, I'm not going to make you change that color scheme, because if you've got the logo, you've already started on your color scheme, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now do you have a logo?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. So you're a step ahead there, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so create and find color schemes. Include your professional logo. So I'm not understanding why you're going to do this step if you already have your professional logo, because you've already got those color schemes. Create or locate social media icons. You'll need to use at least 2 social media icons. Now, here it says to create. We are going to go over why that's a bad idea. Probably,
I think I already know why it's a bad idea.
Why is that?
Because you're using other companies' logos and you're potentially misusing them if you create them from scratch.
Exactly. But we'll go over that a little more too. You'll be graded on following directions: originality, creativity, usability, and uniqueness to your style and layout. Export your design into a multi-page PDF of the design of your home page, about, portfolio, and contact page. Name this, okay? Now, we're doing a mock-up that we're giving to the client to show them this is what we're going to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow night, I'm going to go over the professional presentation that I'm looking for, which most of you who've had me for the last 2 mods have already gone through that because we did it in Animate. Do not add your portfolio pieces to your portfolio page.
Do not?
Do not, because we'll do that in Muse. And when you're doing a mock-up, you don't do it anyway. Mock-ups, you don't add the pieces. Usually. That's... Now, normally, I add at least 1 piece to the mock-up just so they get the idea of how it's going to flow. All right? And do not create the form. We're going to do that in Muse. So, but because I'm giving this presentation to a client to look at and say, this is what what I'm proposing for you, I'll put at least 1 piece in usually so they get the idea. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But normal mock-ups, you don't need to do that. All right, so there's the assignment. Now for the assignment, we're going to go over this the same way. All right, on time. Self-explanatory. File submitted correctly. Name correctly, and the right file type was submitted. Okay, we're no longer allowed to take off too many points. 2 points is the most we could take off if you name it incorrectly. So this week, follow the naming conventions, please. Right file type was submitted. Okay, now we go back up here. Part 1, you're doing a document. Part 2, you're doing a PDF. If you submit those, that's a 90% work. Because the professional aspect where you take that extra time to make it look really good is 1 document that I'm going to allow you both to submit for the 100% level work. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the reason is, if you're just doing the bare minimum of what's asked and somebody else is doing that extra mile, they're going to be looked at and probably given the project lead. So the going that extra mile, I'm trying to show you guys and get you into that step out of doing the minimum. Go for that extra bit. And it's also professional business style. All right, now let's see, name correctly. Revision or new rationale. Rationale clearly explains why changes are being made to the interface design or the design you will create. Shows strong understanding of Muse's advanced features and a plugin that you're going to use and why. So a rationale. Explain why you're making the changes. Make it sound legit rather than, well, I just want to change the look. Okay, that's not a good reason to change a website. Website mockup. The portfolio is redesigned in Photoshop or Illustrator and follows best UI and UX practices. Okay. UI, user interface, UX, user experience. Remember, user interface is any way that the user interacts with the website or portfolio in this case. UX is the experience the user leaves with, the way they leave feeling. The website mockup interface changes. The website mockup shows a strong understanding of the latest trends in UI and UX design, enhances the portfolio. All right, next, the assessment. Determine the visual concept of the portfolio website. Choose and add social media icons to the portfolio website that fit the website style. Create an interactive menu that includes normal, rollover, mouse down, and active states. Remember, we've discussed this in Photoshop. After designing the revised portfolio mockup in Photoshop or Illustrator, it is time to make these interfaces changes in Muse. For this assessment, you'll revise your Muse portfolio or create one if you do not have your Muse files from Design 241. Complete the following. Revise the interface design based on your Photoshop or Illustrator mockup design. Create or revise your menu to make it interactive. Include effects for normal, rollover, mouse down, and active. Create links between your pages. Import your logo and hyperlink it to return to the home page. Well, this is really easy to do, isn't it?
Seems like it.
Import the social media icons and hyperlink them to your social media accounts, LinkedIn and YouTube, for example. All right, the grading for this. On time, file submitted correctly, interface design, and interactivity. An interactive menu has been created. The pages, logo, and social media graphics are all hyperlinked. That's it. That's all you have to do this week. All right, that being said, that is week 3. So we're going to cover a lot of this tonight and tomorrow, all right? Tomorrow night, I'm going to cover what I'm expecting from the mock-up. Tonight, we're going to play more with a website. All right, so Loki Designs. Okay, there we go. All right, my website's still on the top, though. That's what matters. But then with that Loki Designs, it's hard to get it down, see? So, okay, you're going to see something. We're going to actually look for it on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the 6th one down. All right, that's a good thing because it's on page 1, right?
I think so.
Do you realize that that is without putting in any? Let's go back to Muse.
Without putting in any what?
I'm going back to show that. Remember, we right-click page properties last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was this called?
Metadata.
I haven't put any metadata in my website.
Oh, wow.
And it's number 6 on Google. How do you think I did it?
Unique name.
Unique name. Bingo. So, if you've got a unique name, there's number 1 step to get up there, right? Number 2, the metadata. So, if I've got the metadata, do you think that's going to improve my chances?
Oh, yeah.
Big
that
time.
works into SEO.
It does. So, and why did I point that out that I didn't do that?
So you could bring up the unique name and brag about it?
Not brag about it, but point out using a unique name for a company. All right. For example, I'm going to type in Canon. What comes up? Well, let's spell Canon correctly. We've got Canon.com, Canon USA, Canon USA Core. Canon, definitely a Canon by Merriam-Webster. So that brings up the Webster definition of a Canon. Canon Global. Now, a lot of these are the same company, just different branches, like Europe, USA. And then there's the main site before it breaks it down. So you can see how their unique name has broke them out. So if I wanted to go to Canon USA, now it comes up at the top. There's the Canon USA, but this is that main Canon site that goes to the breakouts. The unique name brought it up number 2, but it still brings up their master page, their main page, as number 1. So it's a unique name that does that. Try this. Oh, look, Canon.ru. It's the Russian version. So a unique name can be just by adding something like the country that you're now doing. Now, if I added, now, here's something you'd never want to do. Would I want to put Idaho as part of the name?
I don't think so.
No. Now, as we're looking here, now, Loki Designs Idaho. That brought it up, but you never want, if you're a small company trying to go big like this, Canon, everybody knows worldwide. Loki Designs, they don't know if you're a worldwide or not. By putting Idaho, I have just limited and shown them I'm not worldwide, so why would they want to even consider that?
Like you only do designs for Idaho.
Or you're just starting out. So those are things to think about. Now, as you go down, every one of these is my stuff. Till we hit here. But above here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 things. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know I owned that. Huh?
That's not you, is it?
Apparently it is. Loki Designs. I own it now, apparently. Huh. I knew they went out of business, but I didn't know that they converted it over. Fun things you learn, right? Okay, so, but you can now look what happened with a unique name. I now own another section. And that is a yarn shop, believe it or not. So how would I get a yarn shop out of Loki Designs? I had some graphics with my website in their shop when they closed down.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I also designed what are called drop spindles for them.
Okay.
And put my label on them. You know what a drop spindle is?
I have no clue.
Drop spindles for making yarn.
Okay.
So I designed a certain set for them and put my business card on them with my website. So because of that, now apparently I own. They went out of business, so now they transferred it over to my ownership, to my business. So now I own even that one. So something to think about when you're doing your stuff, okay?
Yep.
There's ways to take control of the internet without people knowing. And a lot of it you don't even know yourself that you were given to like that. All right, so now this is what I've got. Let's take a look at this layout. What do you think of this layout?
It's pretty basic, but
unique.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's the problem with this?
It could look disorganized.
Yeah, that. The other part is, remember, this has to be converted over to HTML5. I'm going to bring up Dreamweaver. Because remember, if I create it here in Muse, I should be able to open it in Dreamweaver, correct?
I thought you couldn't.
Who said that?
It's on the facts.
Yeah, so they said that, huh?
Huh?
See this site?
Yeah.
I created it in Muse.
Okay.
We're in Dreamweaver.
Oh yeah, you are.
So I converted it over.
I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of
Photoshop, maybe? You're no longer
no,
allowed to?
no. It's actually written in the facts that Muse cannot export to HTML. That's what I was thinking of.
It does, though. Now,
And Adobe's lying to me.
it's a mess. It is a big mess.
Okay.
All right. So what we're going to do here is demonstrate this. And why am I bringing this up? Well, because this is part of building your website. You have to think of this stuff.
Right.
And when a program tells you you can't do it, push it. See if you can. Really. All right, so we're going to go back to Muse for a minute. We're going to go File. We're going to open a site. Okay, so let's go to my documents. Loki Designs, Graphic Works. You know what? I think I took it out of here. I did. Yep. All right, well, what we're going to do is now we're going to come down to the VFW post 4000. Okay. Now, Muse. Come on, let me get it. There we go. That was what it started at.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to create a second one so that you can see exactly what this comes up as when we open it in Dreamweaver. All right.
Okay.
Let's go to Dreamweaver. We're going to close that. Now we're going to go File. And I'm going to use my Students folder. This is the one whenever I'm doing Dreamweaver, I open the Students folder and just link to the folder they send me. That way, I've always got it set up on my computer. So now, to edit this, we do our define servers, right? So now I want to manage the site. Students, okay, so now we're going to double click. All right. Again, we go back. Muse. All right, so here's the Muse site, right?
Yeah.
So we say choose. Now we're going to do the graphics. All right, so the graphics, we have to do the Muse as well. Images. And choose. So now we're set up. Now watch. So we're going to create this now. Done. Open it up. And there we go. Now, look at all the CSS though. All that was created. Now, my CSS is what I wrote afterwards to line things up. This is what I started as. You see, I even had the dropout bars. Okay. So you're now seeing it's very possible. Now, the issue that they have is, do you know what dirty code is?
Dirty code?
Mm-hmm.
I can guess.
What?
Code that doesn't work right or isn't like.
That's close. Dirty code is code that's not needed.
Oh, okay.
There's going to be a lot of extra code in here that's not needed.
The extra, that's the word I was looking for.
The extra coding. All right. And as you go down, you'll see a lot of JavaScripting. So it exports to JavaScript. Okay. So now, based on that idea, you see that, and now what we're going to do is, let's go ahead, and I'm going to pull another site over really quick. Connecting to my cloud device. This one. And I'm thinking, the reason I'm bringing this up is because there's a lot of, there we go. All right. Loki Designs portfolio. Well, I'm going to transfer that over to here. Now I can close this, open this up. All right, now I have Loki Designs portfolio there. I no longer need the zipped file because taking it from there, it zips it automatically. All right, now, so now as we see here, let's see, Dreamweaver, files. Well, let's take a look at that folder first, okay? We open it up, logos. Notice it's an InDesign file. So that's not what I need. I just brought along the wrong one. But we go up here, Loki Designs. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So now, that's what I'm going to tie into. So student, manage site. Desktop, Loki Designs, okay. Oh, that's why I couldn't find it. It's right there on my desktop. Blonde moment. And that's not an insult to blondes, by the way. Not meant to be. Loki Designs, images, choose. All right, so now I have this. Now it's going to organize it and create it. Done. All right, now we go into Loki Designs. Index. And see the difference now?
Yeah.
I modified it because, well, I wanted to do some stuff here that's not doing what I want.
Right.
But look at the layout. Isn't that a lot cleaner?
It is.
Stronger?
Mm-hmm.
That layout that I did over there, okay. This layout is pretty cool to begin with. It's unique. But what do we run the chance of with a unique layout?
I don't know.
One, it's not going to correctly transfer over to HTML5. Two, it may be too, quote, out there for some people. And it all depends on your target audience, right?
Yeah.
All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, well, let's bring that back up. So we're going to redesign that. Okay, so we're going to redesign this. All right, so let's bring up Muse. Close that. Now we're going to create a new one. Okay, what did I say the maximum width should be?
1024, is it?
Remember, 1200. This is advanced since the class came out. It was 1024, now it's 1200. Actually, it's 1240, but 1200 gives us the average screen size. All right, and advanced height. Let's go with 500. All right, and there we go. So first things first, let's take a look. We want our libraries, and I need Loki design colors, right?
Mm-hmm.
once it catches up. Oh, I'm not signed in. Really? This is the bad part, remembering the password. There we go. Boy, they're slow logging in tonight. Is yours logged in?
What, my cloud?
Yes.
My Windows maximized. I'm gonna have to.
There we go.
Actually, no. It says I've been signed out.
Yeah, mine did it too. I think they signed us out automatically and did an update. Okay, so now that I'm back into there, move this over to here. Drop this down. Now we have our colors. So let's go to Loki Designs. Now you'll notice I have a few colors here. I have my Loki Designs, and I have Loki's Photography, and I have Loki's Fire Performance. So I have all of them. In fact, my Loki's Fire Performance is missing an orange. But everything I work on. Now, a color theory class. I've even got a color theory one, which I left blank. Lawn care for the web design class, Loki Design. So as you can see, I even have one for a wedding that I designed.
Oh, wow.
That was tough. But I didn't design a website. But it still comes over in your libraries, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these were the colors the bride chose. So I've done wedding invites. I just will not do wedding photography anymore.
Is it not good? Or?
It's really easy to become very hated by the bride.
Oh, see, I've never done any kind of photography. So.
Wireframe colors when we're creating wireframes.
Yeah.
Well, see, I've even got all that set up. Just this is a good thing to use, your CC libraries. All right, so let's go back to Loki Designs. All right, so first thing, well, let's make this, do the Command 0. Now, what did we decide about setting this up? Up here on top.
We decided that we weren't going to do any breakpoints because Muse doesn't handle it correctly.
It was not handling it correctly anymore. All right, so what we're going to just do then is set up the regular page. All right, so let's go ahead and we just take this. And I go to there. Oops, I went a little too long. All right, we go to there and there. There's the 500 and 100% width. All right, now to choose a color. Let's do the background. I love that background color. Now, I could use that for a background color, but one, to me, that's too bright. It doesn't fit in my style.
Yeah.
I could use that. But you also have to take into account your logo.
Mm-hmm.
Now, notice I didn't add my logo to that, which I should, because then I'll have it all out there, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to just go grab it. So let's do the Command 0, which centers everything. We're going to go File, Place. Loki Designs, Images, and now notice I have the Facebook logo, the LinkedIn logo, and my logo. Oh, this one's my dark logo. So let's go ahead and do that, okay? So we're going to go ahead because it's the one I have there. Now I have a couple other logos, but those are ones I've designed for people. So my logo, we're going to go ahead and place right here. All right, now we take a look at that. That doesn't fit there, does it?
No.
All right, so now we're going to just do that. Perfect. So as you can see, I've changed my logo many times.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so next, what I want to do is we're going to consider the buttons. Well, see this little thing right here? I'm going to use that for every button I do. Now, if you remember right, this right here is going to be the link for what? The home page.
The home page?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so, well, I'm going to go ahead and lay out. This is my master. So we close it, and this is here. So we have our home page. Notice it's down here in the blue, right? It's in the white.
Mm-hmm.
So if I view it, File, Preview Site and Browser, it's what we come up to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to add down here the copyright. So let's bring this up, and the copyright's going to go here. Where do we get the copyright? Do you remember?
It's, wait, where do we get it?
Yeah.
No, I don't
What's the
remember.
copyright symbol? What do you do?
It's, I don't remember. I usually just go into character map, but I'm also usually on a PC.
Ah, well, you look right here, glyphs.
Oh, okay.
Copyright. All right, now notice it's there, but you can't see it because I didn't change the color.
Text
So
is
what
black. Text is black.
Text is black. So we're going to do that now. But it still doesn't match. What did I do wrong here? What is wrong? Why is that so bright?
That's, is that CMYK up there?
Uh-huh.
Ah.
This is my old logo. I have updated since then.
Mm-hmm.
These are my new colors. Take a look.
Oh, okay.
See the new logo?
Yeah.
All right, now, so what we're going to do is I'm going to right-click, copy that image. Come over here. Gone. Command V. And place that right there. Now this should, let's go ahead and go a little bit smaller.
I don't know why it's not doing that for me either.
Did you do the shift?
Yeah, I'm doing the shift.
Okay, if you do the shift, watch. Shift, it does that.
It shouldn't do that.
But if you don't do the shift, look.
It's so backwards.
It is backwards, yes.
Why do they have to change stuff like this on us?
I don't know. I haven't figured that one out. So now we'll take that.
I'm too old to learn new stuff.
Now, notice I still don't have the same blue, do I?
No.
This was an in-between color scheme. Make sure you're
between the
updating
old
your,
and the new?
huh?
In between the old stuff and the new stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you need to make sure that your stuff is updated. So let's go ahead and grab that. Now it's going to add the graphic, but it won't add a color. So this is now under Loki Designs. Okay. But look, that blue is almost the same blue, isn't it?
It's almost.
Almost, but not quite. All right, so now we're going to leave it like this intentionally. Now let's take a look. We're going to close that and watch. File. Now we're going to preview site and browser. See why I left that a little bit different?
Mm-hmm.
It makes it stand out. But look how tiny that is. I can go bigger. Go bigger, go home, right? All
Usually,
right,
yes.
So now what I'm going to do is click that, and as we've decided, this is a little bit off. Now look at that. It's now pixelated. How would I keep that from pixelating?
Don't bring it up over 100% or use a vector.
Use a vector. What did I do?
You used the other one, raster.
Did I? What exactly did I use? I went to here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Loki Designs. And copied it. What type of graphic is that? Well, watch. File, save as. SVG. So it should
SVG.
work. It should work. Now that's what it wants to save it as. Okay, so you have to also be careful what you're downloading and using. So we're going to use that for this for tonight, okay? And I'll have that fixed by tomorrow. All right, now, so I've got all my colors. I have my logo. Now we need to create the copyright to match it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, a good one for this is going to be here. In 2018. And there we have it. See how nice and clean that is?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to go File, Preview, and look where it's at.
Uh-oh.
Do you remember how we fixed that the other night, last week?
It was the sticky footers, I think. Something like that. No?
Yeah, you're on the right track.
I'm on the
So
right
what do we
track.
do? Site Properties, Fluid Width, and we take the sticky footer off.
Oh, take it off.
We'll close that, but it's still there.
Huh.
And now it puts it right there instead of down. Okay, let's go back. Let's bring this back up. Remember, to make this work, this right here is the footer.
Right.
This, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we, come on. No, it's not doing it. Did that just put it inside? No, because there we have it right there. Notice this 500, 500's the page. We need to go to here with the background, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to close that. Click. And now we take that down to there. Watch what happens. It did it. But now, see how much space I have on this?
Yeah. It's because you're at the very top of your footer.
I'm at the very top of the footer. So now I'm going to take this, close the home page, go back. All right, so now I want to take that. Let's take it to 650. And we're going to take this. It's right there inside that footer. And there we go. See how that fixed that?
Mm-hmm.
But it's still got some to go. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take that and go a little further. Stop. Now we're going to go to the 900. Remember how we talked about 900 being a good size for pages before? Now it's a little too long, but look, we're outside again. How do we fix that? How did we fix it? When we did this, remember? Command C. Now we're going to go Command V. Slide down. Quit. This is going to come down to being in there. Cover that. I'm going to take this one, go back up to there. This, right click, send to the back. But we still have the same issue. What was that issue? Do you remember?
I do not. And
Okay.
this really, like, this is a frequent issue for me, so you'd think I'd have figured it out.
Okay, so let's take this now up to 800. Out to there. Same thing.
Oh, man.
Okay, so we close the master and we can look at it and see that it's there.
Right.
Okay.
Is it because the okay. Could it be because the shapes that you're using to make your background color
No.
are pushing the footer down?
No, but what the problem is, you're on the right track with the footers being pushed down. Okay, let's go back to File, Site Properties. All right. There's a margin of 20 here, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Height 500. We're outside that 500.
Okay.
Now let's put the sticky footer back. Okay, now.
I can't.
Okay, so now we're moving along. Now we turn that sticky footer back on. We're going to take this back to that 500. Put that back in there. All right, now. Okay, see how that puts it way down there now?
Yeah.
What we're doing, that sticky footer puts it right at the bottom of the page.
No matter where it is.
No matter where it is.
All right. I need to take a quick break. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Right, we go and fix that, and it's totally gone because it's now outside. So to fix that, what we do is we're going to take this up to here. Now we take this line, since that's the footer area. Okay, we put that back into there. And then what I'm going to do actually at this point is leave that. Have you research last week to see what we come up with. All right, so that being said, we're going to go ahead and just build here then. All right. In fact, we're going to do Control-C-V. And we're going to arrange, send to back. There we go. That puts it way down there again because that is the maximum. Sticky footer goes to the bottom. Right, so file. I'm going to let you figure that one out because rather than show. Because this is one we went over last week, how to fix that issue. All right, so now what we're going to do is, well, we need to add what? The buttons. All right, now, seeing this, there really is not anything I can use here for a button. So what I'm going to do to build a button, we're going to go Photoshop. Now, what size are normal buttons? Anybody know? Well, we're going to make one. I started building one. Doesn't quite match, but we're going to still have fun with it. All right, so now this size, let's go up here to the image. Let's move zoom over there. All right, there we go. So this size is 7.375 inches. That's way too big for a button. So what we're going to do, image, size. We're going to take that down to 1 inch high. There we go. Now the width, you'll notice, is a little more over 1, which is fine because now what I'm going to do is go to canvas size. Width is going to become 2. I want to leave it right there. Okay, so 2 is not going to be enough. So we're going to do it again. Canvas size, let's go to 4. Whoop, what I forgot to do, make sure image, canvas size, 4, click the arrow or whatever, wherever you want it. And that's where I'm going to put it. All right, now, notice it's the same size as that gear. So I want to add a little height to it. So image, so the canvas size, let's go to, it's 1. Let's actually take it to 0.5, 1.5. Leave it in the center. And there, perfect. That leaves me now a little room on the whole thing. And I can take that in. All right. Now we're going to go up 1. And now notice the big difference here. This is 1, so now for the height. So image. Now we want to go to canvas. So we're going to take a little out. We're going to go 1.25. And we're going to leave it up there in that corner. Proceed. Perfect. There we go. Now we have a button. So this is going to be the text. All right. So we're going to write the text. Let's go back to the assignment. We need home, about, portfolio, and contact. All right, well, the home button is the logo. So now we need about, portfolio, and contact, right? Let's go back to Dreamweaver. We're done with Dreamweaver. I no longer need it. So let's go back to Photoshop. All right, so the about. Put that about. Middle, A-B-O-U-T. Let's do capital words. All right, now let's go to Loki Designs color. And we're going to use this light blue. All right, Arial regular. And we're going to go up. All right, so there's the about. Make sure 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1. All right, so there's the about. Well, next, this is going to be which layer. Okay, so remember what we have to do. That's the about layer. Let's go back to our buttons. On our buttons. Let's discuss our buttons. Normal, roll over, mouse down, and active. There we go. So that's going to be the normal button. So we're going to add a folder. And this is normal. All right. Now we're going to copy this 3 times. So come down here, duplicate, normal. What were they? Roll over, mouse down, and active. So there's the normal, roll over, delete, duplicate, mouse down, and you have to do these titles the same way. And the last one, active. All right, so now we have our 4 buttons. So we're going to save this. File, save as, LD buttons. All right, now I'm going to create this. Let's go back here to this one. All right, so now we're going to create a new folder for week 3. All right, so the Loki buttons. Save. All right, so now I have my buttons. So we're going to import a button. So watch this. File, place photos. We don't want to upload. File. We want to place Photoshop button. Go back to week 3. There's the PSD. We take it. And notice it's way out. We have to actually choose which one it is, right? And this does not go down. So we can't do the composite together with each one of them. Or can we? Let's go down. And first things first, let's go back. And now we're going to alter the button. All right, so off, off, rollover. The effect. All right, so the effect for the rollover, now we need the word about. Well, for the rollover, we're going to make the text black. All right. So now we have that one. Okay. Mouse down. The text is going to become red. And the last one, the active button. The text is going to become, well, let's go to light blue. Okay, so we're back to that light blue. So now we're going to save this file. We're going to turn each of those on. So File, Save. Now we come back over. File, Place, Photoshop button. All right, so we take the button. Again, we have this issue. Now, remember, the layers are not labeled, but the About, layer 1. There's the About, but that wasn't the right color, was it? Well, let's take a look what we had them. You back? Okay, so the blue About, black About is the rollover. So let's go back over to here. Rollover, it's going to be the black About. So 1, 2. No. 3. There we go, the black About. And then, well, I need layer 1. But you notice, as soon as I click on it, it's gone, right? So to fix that, what we're going to do, let's go back over here. Now, we're going to turn each of these off. Come to here. We're going to combine these two, Command E.
Cat, we've talked about this. That's my seat.
Normal. And it helps again to spell it correctly. Take that outside the folder. I no longer need the folder. Okay, same with the rollover. See?
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. We do the Command E. Rollover. Then I can delete the folder. The mouse down. Remember how we went over this last week?
This was in week 1, wasn't it?
Yep, and I think I covered it last week too.
Okay. Oh, I didn't see the first lecture of last week.
Ah, okay. And then we
rebel.
take this, huh?
I said I'm a rebel.
Ah.
No, it was...
And this is gone. Now we save this. But I'm going to save this as button 2. The reason, now I still keep my original, or I'll just call it buttons 1.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now I have my original and I have that. So, which you could do here too. You just turn them off. And just know what you need to bring in.
Right.
Okay, so I have, oh look, normal, rollover. What was that one?
It was mouse over. 2 words.
Mouse over. And that one.
No, rollover is supposed to be mouse over. No, wait. No. Mouse down, not mouse over. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
But the mouse down is 2 words.
Yep. All right. So now we save that again.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So now we have our second button. Now what we're going to do is File, Place. Go back to the week 3. Buttons, Import Composite, Import Layer. Now you do layer, it'll only do one at a time. Composite image, it brings it all in. And now I go to my stats, and there they are. But look, I don't see anything. Why not?
I don't know.
Let's go back over here to library. Okay. So we don't have it over here. Where
No,
did it go?
it's right there.
Right there. All right. Well, let's take this down.
Oh, okay. There we go.
There we go. Now, that's the about.
Right.
That turned out pretty cool. But it is a little large, so we're going to shrink it down. And again, isn't that cool how this one's totally opposite the others? So we're going to put it right there.
Okay.
No, actually, we're going to put it right there. Either way, there's an issue here. Look at all the white space, the way that we did this.
Yeah.
Okay, so think about that white space as you're doing this. Now, so now we're going to go File, Preview Site and Browser. It's not working.
It's because you don't have an about page, do you?
Well, I didn't even put a link, but it's a button. It should still be working. So we're going to get rid of that.
It doesn't know if it's active or not.
So it's gone.
Yeah.
Well, it should still be able to do the up-down without linking it to
Oh, okay. All right. I get it.
But, okay, to help, we're going to go, and like I said, this part here, I'm going to leave for you to fix that tomorrow night.
Okay.
Or anybody else coming in, make sure, because this is something that's a review from last week. All right, so now we're going to add about. What else?
Contact was one, and then portfolio was the last one.
Yep, about, contact, and portfolio. All right, and there we go. So what we're going to now do is now we're going to go back. Well, let's try this again. File, place Photoshop button. Here. Drag it in. And there we go. See how it went right into it?
Mm-hmm.
Drop that in right there. Now, notice that also the color came across a lot clearer.
Oh,
Click
yeah.
that. And there we go. So let's run this. There we go. Now, how do we make that active?
How do I make it what now?
An active link.
You'd have to define you'd have to give it a link first of all, so it knows what it's linking to.
Okay, how do we do that? Because we have a link. We have the page created.
Okay.
Okay, so we have the about.
Why is that on your home and not on your master?
Ah, you caught that, didn't you?
I did.
So we're going to copy this. Command C
When you cut it?
and delete.
Okay.
Or cut. Either way.
I always cut.
Paste in place.
There you go.
All right. So now we close that. And looky. But it doesn't go anywhere. How do we make it go somewhere?
You click it, and then the hyperlink's up in the top.
Okay, we click here. Tooltip, text style, edit link style.
No.
Now look at that though.
That's interesting.
These are the ones that are automatically put in there. Okay.
Right.
They have nothing to do with my color scheme.
Right.
They're automatically there. Layout. Advanced. Nothing, right?
Yeah, it's
Click here.
not for that. There you go.
The about. And now we have a link to the About. Next is what?
Preview it.
Well, we're going to go back to our Photoshop. Now we're going to close number 1. We're going to open the plane button. Okay. And notice I have the colors there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's already set up. What's the next one? Contact, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look how big that is. It's not going to fit. So here, when you're thinking about your button size and you create your button, create it for the largest one. And then adjust after that so that the size from left to right still comes out centered. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, so we're just going to do contact. C-O-N-T, like continue. Okay. Oh, that's C-C-O-N-T. That's good. All right. Close. Now, just remember, because now what I have to do is Command E. Normal. Lowercase, right? Take that out. Now, before I forget what I'm doing, File, Save As. Normal buttons. All right, so now this one. Roll over, take it out. Delete, save. C-O-N-T. O-N-T, there we go. Mouse down. Take it outside the box. Delete. Now, I don't really have to take it outside the box now, because watch. And T. And now we're going to do a Command E. Save. Now watch what happens when I bring that one in. So File, place Photoshop button, and we'll take this and just drop it right there. Maybe. There we go. Notice nothing happened this time. Because I opened instead of dragging it in. But let's take a look here. And there we have it. Notice I did not label this one properly, did I? It tried to bring in mouse something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the none. So we'll do that. All right, so we'll save it. Put it right there. Now let's go take a look, see what I did wrong. Normal, roll over, mouse down. Oh, right there. So now let's go back. That one's the mouse over. the active. Okay, so normal, roll over, mouse down, and active. All right, so we make that happen. To fix that, when we do the stats, once you do this, can you change these?
You mean change them between each other?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why not.
It doesn't let you. The only
What
way
about
to do
the
it is
other
to go
one?
back and change the button
Oh,
and re-import it. Okay? All right, so now the last button, portfolio, right?
mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go to Photoshop. And we no longer need this one. Now, we're going to bring back up this one again. And File, we're going to save as Port. All right, so we come to roll normal. Let's turn these off. Well, we'll leave them on. Normal. Port. Now notice if I do the Command E, see the difference? It adds it and adds these effects. Now if I select them both and do the Command E, it doesn't do that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we have port. And we're going to do that. Cancel. We want to open it. There we go. RT. E. ROLLOVER. PORT. Mouse down. And the last one, port. And whoops. Active. All right, now save this again. Come over to here. File, place Photoshop button. All right, so now we have it. There's the composite, the rollover, mouse down, active. Notice it automatically kept it as active.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's our composite of everything. Then we have our active. So now we can just put it there and put it right there. All right, now to link these, we've got the about linked. Now we need contact, portfolio, and home. Right?
Mm-hmm.
File, save. Save site. Okay, so we're going to go back here to, where'd week 3 go? There we go. Week 3, new folder. This is going to be the site. Wow. Okay, so Loki. Designs. All right, so there's my site, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so now we have this layout. Come back to here. I really don't like that height, so we're going to change that height. So file, And site properties, we're going to change that layout to 700. Didn't see anything change, did you?
No.
Well, look, this is way down here now. See?
Yeah.
But that still stayed there. So we're going to go back here. Site properties. I'm going to turn that off. Just for now. Okay. All right, there we have it. So next, now that's needs to go down. All right. Oh, look, it's suddenly inside. But I still have all this extra white space. All right, anyway. Now, let's go to the home page. Home page, this is what I've got on there. So we're going to go back, and now we're going to File, Paste, Place. Okay, let's go back to the Loki Designs images. And we have our cover pages, right? So I have small graphics. And we're going to take this and put it right there. That's really pixelated, isn't it? Well, you have to remember the size I just put this in there. Right? That's a thumbnail size. That's the small.
Yeah.
There's the regular. See the difference? If you're going to take that small one, it's small because I saved it for a thumbnail size. All right, now what I want to do instead is we're going to add something. Let's go to the widget library. Slideshows. We have blank. Let's do the... All right, what are some of the ones out there that you liked when you were researching?
Some of the what's?
Some of the like slideshow presentations.
Oh, I honestly didn't find any that seemed to work. So I just used the one that was integrated. Somehow got it to work.
Okay, we're going to put this one over here. Well, actually, you know what? Instead, we are going to go get one. Did I download one last week? Let's take a look what I have here. Slideshows. Forms. Where do they go? You remember? Is it library? There we go, right there. Tile slideshow. We have the hover button, mouse. Scrolling text. But it doesn't have any of that. Well, I'm going to put this one in here. Okay.
Okay.
Now, instead of a graphic, I mean, instead of text, can I put a graphic in there? What do you think?
Can you put a graphic in there?
Mm-hmm.
Should be able to if it worked the way it was designed.
This one wasn't designed for a graphic. Simple text box. Now, based on that theory that you just said you should be able to, well, if I did this instead, if I drop that into there, it should work, right? Didn't work.
Guess not.
See, it puts it on the outside of it. So that's something to remember. When you get one that you download, it does not always work in another option, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so one of the things I do want on this page, though, so we're going to close that. In fact, I'm going to redo this, put that right there, because guess what? That library has my extra stuff in it. So why not put it up there with my widgets, right?
Right.
And remember, most of the Adobe programs, I can create my own layout. Guess what? Remember how we did that in Animate?
Mm-hmm.
Can't do it here. They really did a lot of restricting, and as you can see, they had different programmers working on the program site. So, to do what I want, I'm just going to go ahead and skip that for tonight. We'll do that tomorrow night. Now I'm going to go File, Place. All right, and these are all my photos. Let's go back to here. And I'm going to put this out there. Do you know who Paul Rand is?
Sounds familiar.
The father of modern day graphic arts. Okay, I'm going to put that right there. And save it. Now we're going to take a look. All right, there we have the Paul Rand quote. What is wrong with this picture? Other than the white at the bottom. Here, we'll get rid of that. There we go. So what's wrong with this site? Close your eyes. See if you catch it. Open them.
The light blues kind of.
Okay, other than that.
Other than that?
Look at all this.
Oh, yeah. No,
And look at all
empty
this.
space.
So much empty space. So do you think this would be a good layout, user experience?
As is? No.
Okay. Other than the About button and the color of the text. Then we have that large white space on both sides. All right, so what can we do to equal this out so it looks good?
Add some more elements.
All right, like what? Let's take.
Well, you've got all kinds of pictures on the other one.
Yeah, well, I've got this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, File, Place. So let's take a look at the photos. We're going to grab into File. She is an international dance instructor. And as you can see, my old logo's on there. So I'm going to place that one right here. I'll line that up there. Okay. And the reason, why would you put something like that on your cover?
It's a pretty good example of your work. I don't know.
Okay, that's part of it.
Yeah.
The biggest reason, I've just demonstrated, because if anybody knows her name, and that's the thing, you
Ah,
have to market to your audience, right? Anybody knows her name. Oh, he's an international photographer. See how you're playing off of that?
mm-hmm.
All right, so now I do this. So I put this one in here. Now look at the designs. Look how this works. So if I make it the same size like the other, look, it just pixelated, right? Well, let's do this. See how pixelated that is?
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a bad idea, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I did this one for a magazine. The problem that we run into here now, look how close those two are dressed together.
Yeah.
So I've just tied into,
I said, yeah.
I just tied into two different, it's not really a problem, actually. I just tied into two separate genres with these two photos. International dancer, Idaho. See, Gothic Beauties of Idaho.
Right.
I just tied those two together, my international and my local. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But pixelating it like that, remember, you're only as good as your worst item on your portfolio.
Right.
I will not be remembered for Linda's photo. I would be remembered for Akasha's photo, right?
Right.
All right, so let's go ahead and grab Zanaya. Again, really large, so we're going to shrink it down to the same size. Now we're going to take those and center them. And that just centered all that. But there's going to be an issue with this. All right, what's wrong with it? Go back over here.
It's a little jarring.
We come here, we hit step down white space. Here, white space, less white space. So I have a flow on my picture this way, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that could be good, but in this case it's bad because there's nothing down here except white space and the copyright. So they come down expecting the eyes to flow. So theoretically, this would be way over here, right?
Yeah.
But we know that's not how you do a website. That's stretching that, right? That's would be stretching that issue.
Yeah.
So let's take that back to there. Now we're going to do this. And there we go. See how I just fixed that issue?
Made everything larger.
Mm-hmm. Now, there is one small issue because this starts to pixelate. But other than that, see this space between them, then this space down here. Something to think about. So what we're going to do is now we're going to go back. Save it. And now look at the difference. Now they're separated from the above. That color works because it ties into the color of the frame. This one might pull their attention off. Can you see how that would do that?
Yeah.
Why? The color.
Mm-hmm.
Really bright. So, but you're starting to see how that flow works. And
Yeah.
this was why the first 2 weeks I didn't like the fact of the IU website, because now working with your portfolio, you have a different type of format to work with. And that IU website is not a portfolio, and it will be lined up differently. Now, can you set something up like that for a portfolio? Yes, that is one of the ways to do that. But then we start running into the problem of looking like everybody else, right?
Right.
All right, so now, how can I make this work a little better?
Give the other photo a stroke.
It's got the stroke.
No.
See, it's got a border. Watch.
Well, yeah, but okay.
Watch this. There.
Oh, okay.
Now, yep, right up against. Save. Now watch the difference. Anaya pulls you to her, but the blues, there's enough blues that they could pull away from that brightness. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And you could easily read Paul Rand's quote, right?
Mm-hmm.
Simplicity is not the goal. It is the byproduct of a good idea and modest expectations. Now, Paul Rand did not invent the rules for graphic arts, but he is still known as the father of modern day graphic arts. Why? Because he was the first one back in the 60s, 1960s, to sit down, collect all the rules everybody was using, and put them into a book. That's why. Now, let me show you something. And this is why he's very important. These are Paul Rand's. That one, do you recognize that one?
That one I don't.
Okay, that one.
No.
That one you still see today.
Absolutely, yeah. And I remember the UPS logo.
Now, the UPS logo has been changed, but it's still very similar, right?
Yeah.
That one? I don't know
know
what that one is. That one's in late 60s, early 70s. That one, though.
No.
Westinghouse.
Okay.
Westinghouse was a lot of the electricity, a lot of stuff like that.
Okay.
I don't know that one. I don't know that one. That one. Now, what's so interesting about that one? You still see it today, but what else?
It's hardly changed.
But
They
also,
still use that same font.
what is that font?
I don't know.
Show you. Okay, what is that font? It's Walt Disney's signature. Ford's signature. All right, so we have ABC. And look, 1962. We went back to the same one, 1988. 1999, they just made it gray. It has hardly changed. And 2013, we're back to it. Just a little shading.
Mm-hmm.
ABC has been around, the same one, forever. They added color, then they took it back out. 26 years later, they took the color out. They tried adding the color back in 2013. Notice that greenish color.
Yeah.
See? Now, what are these colors?
RBG.
RBG. That's not RGB.
That's red, blue, and green.
This one is 2013. So they tried something else and decided that wasn't good. Notice 2013. 2013. Paul Rand designed their logo in 1962, and they are basically using the same thing today.
If it ain't broke,
don't fix it.
exactly.
All right, now let's take another look. Well, that one.
They still use it.
They still use it. I don't know that one. I don't know that one. Next. That one's still out there.
Okay.
Yale is still out there, but they don't really use it. Now because to them that was too simple. I'm not sure. That one or that one. That one. Enron. You don't see that logo anymore, do you?
Yeah, they're kind of ashamed.
You notice that their new logo came out for branding. Okay. So you're starting to see why Paul Rand is so important.
Mm-hmm.
He designed this stuff that's still in use today. The reason that a lot of the stuff has changed has nothing to do with not liking the logo. It's the company made mistakes.
Didn't he do the NBC logo too?
Don't think so.
Who was it that did the NBC logo? Because I remember that being a very prolific graphic designer with No, it's not going to tell us.
Mm-mm. See, General Electric even comes into here. You mean this one, right? The peacock?
Yeah, the peacock.
Ben there.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Ben Grau. All right. So anyway, but you're starting to see how important color is and logos are. Now, what else is wrong with this picture up here?
Which one?
The buttons.
Oh, when you mouse over them, you can't read them. It's too dark.
Okay. Well, that's fine, the mouse over, because you know you're on it. But look at this green. It doesn't go with any of the rest of the site.
That's true, too.
But I kind of did that as an example to show how to make your own buttons. Okay.
Right.
Now, let's go back here. So there's my home page. Examples of my work. What's missing with this one? That was before I started putting my watermark on them.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so now there's my home page. About. Well, the about's going to be a lot of text, right?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is Arial, and let's go to 24. In fact, we're going to cheat. We're going to do this. All right, now, so I'm going to take that. One, that is a really bad color of black, right? So we're going to go over here and we're going to take that blue. All right, now I'm going to copy that. We're going to put it right there. Now you notice that leaves us white space, right?
Yeah.
Well, since nothing's on it, we're going to do this. And how can I get rid of that white space?
Different elements. Like I've got a picture of myself on my About page.
Okay. What's wrong with putting a picture of you? That's a big risk. You have to remember, putting a picture up there, if somebody finds something they do not like about your picture, you've just lost them as a client. Okay, now I'm going to just use the same one as an example. This would be a great place to put logos. This is a logo I created. You ever heard of Burning Man?
Yeah.
This is a logo I created for one of the camps at Burning Man.
Oh, cool.
I've never been.
Me neither.
But, okay, so there's that. So see how that makes it flow? You go over, you see those, and believe it or not, and okay, close your eyes for a second. Okay, open them. These are very bright, the white, but the placing, your eyes get drawn to the text, don't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and do this.
Yeah, that works.
Here's a case where I just broke the rules. I put lots of white on there, but yet what keeps the white from taking control?
The placement and the way it wraps around the text.
One other thing. The border around the white.
There you go.
That holds the eyes in, but it also holds the eyes out.
Right.
So does that make sense on a layout?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so the About Me, blah, 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 the portfolio. Now, we're going to work on that one tomorrow night and that one. All right, so that being said, do you have any questions?
I have no questions.
Okay, tomorrow night, the first thing we're going to do is cover what's required for the assignment. We're going to finish that one up. Or the,
Okay.
Yeah, and then we're going to finish up this assessment. All right, so you guys have a nice evening. Thank you for coming to class. And I hope you enjoyed this. So thank you.